Well, my name is David, and today we're going to be talking about TOEFL. And I have someone very special. Her name is Julia, okay? And she's going to interpret this in Chinese.
大家好，他的名字叫 David， 我的名字叫 Julia。今天我们两个来给你们介绍一下托福考试的形式。
Okay. And we're going to talk, well, she's very fluent in Chinese, right? And I'm not very good in Chinese at all, right? The only thing I could probably say is 你好吗。
就是因为他不会说中文，我来给大家用中文介绍托福考试呢。他呢，除了你好以外，什么也不会说。
Okay. I'm a very, very famous teacher in South Korea.
他是最有名的老师，他是在韩国最有名的老师之一。
Okay. My history has shown me that I've actually had a student who is around 13, 12 years old to get 120 on the IBT TOEFL.
其实他历史上有一位学生，13岁的学生，他得到了 IBT 托福考试的120分数，最高的。
And she's the youngest in the world.
这位学生是世界上最年轻的，能得到那么高的分数，厉害不？
So I've been in newspapers, I've been on TV, I've been going around internationally, and today I'm here in China.
他上过电视，也上过报，其实他是一个国际名人。
Okay. And we're going to be talking about TOEFL, right? We're going to talk about the reading section, listening section, speaking section, and writing section.
我们今天给你们介绍4个部分，托福考试有4个部分。第一是阅读，以后听力、口试还有写作4个部分。
So why is TOEFL so important?
那这个托福考试呢，为什么那么重要吗？你们知道吧？
It's because you need it to go into universities, right? Internationally.
第一呢，就是因为你们上大学的时候需要这个考试的分数，就是托福考试的分数。
Now the people who make the TOEFL is called ETS.
你知道吗？谁创造了这个考试呢？是 ETS， 是他创造了。
And I used to work for a company called ETS when I was younger, right? So I know exactly what they're looking for.
其实他曾经在这个 ETS 公司工作，所以才知道这个考试的形式、重点和特点。
So let me give my knowledge over to you guys.
所以呢，他想把自己的知识，就是教给你们。
Now, if you gain something from this, right, you're going to be amazed because I teach it totally different than anybody around the world.
其实他的方法和别的老师是不一样的，所以大家希望你们能多向老师学点知识。
Okay, so we're gonna watch a video together, okay? And this is what TOEFL is, okay?
首先我们来看一看一个视频。
The TOEFL test is your passport to study abroad. It can take you more places than any other English language proficiency test.
TOEFL is kind of like an academic passport to United States, Canada, UK, New Zealand, Australia, all over the world.
25 million people have taken the TOEFL test. That's a pretty good track record. The TOEFL test is offered in 165 countries and over 4,500 test centers.
The TOEFL test scores can be relied upon because they're testing exactly the kind of academic content and skill levels that we know we need our students to be successful. For a student, a TOEFL test score is like a passport that they can use to gain access to universities in almost any of the major English-speaking destination countries.
The TOEFL test is accepted by 7,500 institutions worldwide. This is truly a world test.
It's a test that's available to students at the undergraduate level, at the graduate level, at the postdoctoral level, for students who want to study not just in the United States, but pretty much anywhere in the world where the medium of instruction is in English.
Taking the TOEFL exam ensured that I could apply to many more universities. So from an academic standpoint, it opened up a lot of avenues.
So my latest advice to everybody coming to the community college is take the TOEFL test as early as you think you can do well on it.
My TOEFL scores have been used for a lot of application processes. I attended a global seminar on sustainability in Japan, Tokyo, and most recently I went to the University of London as an exchange student, and I used my TOEFL score there as well.
TOEFL test takers come from all over the world. They come from all the countries of the United Nations, I would say. It's from something like 180 countries.
There's 25 million test takers who have taken the TOEFL at one time or another.
In China, almost everybody knows the TOEFL test, and people actually associate TOEFL with study abroad. So I took the TOEFL test in 1999, and here I am today.
A long time ago, I myself had to take the test because I had a Fulbright Hayes scholarship.
I remember the moment when I opened my TOEFL test score report. It was one of the moments I remember because I felt, there could be many doors open to me.
When I see my scores, I am more confident in my language proficiency to study here. It just gives me encouragement and support to get rid of all my fear and concern to study here.
Then it was, in a way, a passport to lots of things that opened in front of me.
And wherever I go, I talk to students, agents, education agents, institutions about what's the most famous English test they can think of, and most of them say the TOEFL test.
No matter you are in a village in Africa or you are in a big city like in Seoul or in Shanghai, you can take the TOEFL test anywhere.
There are over 4,500 testing centers for the TOEFL test in over 165 countries. It's the most widely available test of English language.
It's very accessible, very easy to take as part of a student's application to move on to university.
We really are very dependent on students coming from all over the world, and that is what makes our campus a rich, vibrant campus. We need to know that there's a test that's offered all around the world, and the TOEFL definitely provides that.
We know the network is out there. We know everybody that's coming to our school has access to the TOEFL test.
The test puts students in exactly the situation they will experience in the classroom, and then assesses how well they comprehend the material that they've been given.
I barely had any troubles listening to lectures in class because I spent a lot of time working on my listening skill when preparing for the test.
The best thing about the TOEFL test that I found was how it uses 4 tools of communication: reading, writing, speaking, and listening.
We would love to be able to stamp the University of Central Florida on your TOEFL passport.
So why don't you come to Australia and we'll stamp Australia in your TOEFL passport.
The College of Brockport would be happy to stamp their TOEFL passport.
If you come to Morocco to study, you'll go back with a Morocco stamp on your TOEFL passport.
Okay, now you guys all seen the video, right? So now you guys know how important TOEFL is.
好了，大家是不是看到了？那你觉得托福考试重要吗？非常重要。
It's not just China, it's Korea, Pakistan, India, all over the world, right? Our people are taking the TOEFL test.
看一看，不只是中国，还有很多别的国家，像巴基斯坦、印度等等很多国家都在考这个考试。
So now I know that some of you guys taking the TOEFL test and some of you guys haven't, right? But the way I teach is not just for TOEFL.
大家有的人是考过这个考试，有的打算考试，可是他想教的方法是和你们以前准备的那个不一样。咱们听一听。
I found out the way I teach also works for every other different testing too.
其实他的方法，教的方法是能适合考别的考试一样，不只是托福考试，还有别的呢。
For example, the SAT in writing.
比如说 SAT 考试，就是 SAT 写作考试。大家通过我们这个托福考试， 形式，还能学到怎么考 SAT 写作。
And SAT reading.
还有 SAT 阅读。
Okay. Now I found out that this is really important for all of you guys because this is your future.
其实这个考试是非常重要的，它对我们未来非常重要。
Now this determines if you have a really good job in the future or you have a very, very small, not much income.
这什么意思呢？你们的工作要是非常好，就说明你的工资会高，是不是？
Now, imagine if you had really, really bad scores and you could have just put a little bit more into it and you could have gone to a better school. What do you think your results going to be?
大家想象吧，要是你的分数就是考英语的时候分数稍微低，你是不是考不到好大学？那我们想象吧，要是你的分数最高，再高一点，是不是能有更好的结果？
So spending a little bit time, right? We're not wasting your time. We're spending a little bit more time on how to increase your grades.
其实我们不想浪费你们的时间，我们是打算利用这个时间，为了提高你们的考试分数。
Okay, so let's start.
那咱们开始吧。